Michael, and between the two of us, we have won, I think it is 7 Munster Senior Championship medals. He's won all 7, mind you. Some news about a match already won. It was won by the Kerry Miners, dethroning Cork in the minor championship here. Kerry are Munster minor champions. They won by 15 points to 12. There is team news from Cork as well. One change there. Nicholas Murphy damaged the leg playing against Dublin in Nina some 9 days ago. He's out, won't even be on the bench, and he's replaced by Faulkner Collins. Tony, what will that change mean?
Well, I suppose there's not going to be a ball caught around midfield today. It has been raining here for the last 20 minutes, so the ground is very wet. And I have no doubt Larry going out today will insist that all ball is broken going around the middle of the field, so it's up to the half-backs and the half-forwards and everybody else to pick up those breaks. So it doesn't really matter, even though Nicholas is, like when you pick the Cork midfield, it's Nicholas and who else is playing with him. So certainly he'll be a loss. But whoever goes in there, I suppose Faulkner, they'll just break the ball, and whoever wins the breaks then, and that's what it will be about this afternoon.
Kerry are the hottest of favourites. They're All-Ireland champions, and Paddy has been saying during the week some of their play reminds them of the great teams of the 70s and into the 80s. Are they that good?
Cork love to hear things like that. If I was in the Cork football team and I heard Paddy saying something like that, I'd come out and I'd be jumping around the place trying to get my hands on that ball. They are a very, very good team. On paper, they're a better team than Cork. Munster final, it may bring out something differently than normal games, but all the indications are that Kerry are going to be hard to beat. But then again, if you were playing for Kerry and you were hearing all the week you were going to win, it might be psychologically very hard for them to try and go and play to their best. It depends on how mature they are. I know they won 2 All-Irelands now and they're a good bit along the way. For Cork love to hear that they're written off, they love to hear they're beaten. We just wonder, are they good enough? With Finan Murray and Philip Clifford in the corners, if they get any supply ball, then they could create damage, and Colin full forward might do it. Then the 2 Cork cornerbacks have a lot to do. Johnny Crowley is playing very, very well, and Michael Frank and Anthony Lynch, that'll be another great battle. So look forward to a good game. Munster finals are very special to us all down here, and hopefully it will be a good result.
OK, that's the story down here. We're going to make our way up as the Munster Council celebrate 100 years here in business in this particular province. We're going to make our way up to the commentary position. The match is on.
In Dublin, the Fingal Independent feels this Sunday's clash is another one to boil the forward firepower the key. Kerry can run up a score that Cork will be unable to match, they claim. Writer John Barry is confident Cork are going to race on to the Porky sod on Sunday, totally and absolutely determined to bring about the downfall of Kerry. But there won't be much left in them when the whistle sounds, be sure of that, he boasts. The message from Paddy O'Shea and his Kerry troops is losing is not an option for Kerry on Sunday, despite the back door. Kerry are going in the front door on Sunday and hope to come out the same way. The Examiner, meanwhile, considers the task ahead for the Cork side. An uphill battle on all fronts for unsettled Cork outfit is the headline on Jim O'Sullivan's piece. He believes nobody can rule out an upset, but based on the evidence, I don't envisage it happening. Larry Tompkins, meanwhile, is the focus of Jim O'Flynn's piece, and amongst other things, he talks about how much he likes the second element of this year's championship. I think it's giving us a great championship, he says, some real glamour ties. But it doesn't change the Munster final.
Is in cornerback, that's going to tighten out up a full back line that looked dodgy against Clare. Young Murphy is good in the forwards, and
here comes your own County Kerry and of course the great Maurice Fitz at full forward.
Well, yes, I mean this was a tactical move because certainly Maurice at centre forward I wouldn't think he'd have the pace or the defensive abilities to keep marking Owen Sexton, who just loves to come forward. That's another, and we know their centre field is very strong. But like any team trying to retain an All-Ireland title for a second year in a row, can they retain the same hunger and enthusiasm and commitment they showed last year? That's the big.
We just hope now that we can get our players to play to their potential, and if they do, we have a great chance, and if they don't, well, we'll just have to, you know, we'll be living in our wits, really.
We got to the All-Ireland final. This team, you know, really developed from then, really. I think 11 of the team had never beaten Kerry in minor on the 21 grade, so it was a huge step like that year. And unfortunately, we didn't win the All-Ireland that year, but I think after last year's maybe, you know, going through Kerry after beating us, I think hopefully it has revitalised the hunger, which is a major step towards winning anything nowadays. And I would hope, like that, as I said, that to play to their potential. If we play to our potential, Marty, I think that, you know, this team is capable of anything.
About 8-10 weeks ago, I did my hamstring fairly bad, and you know, took maybe 6 or 7 weeks to overcome that. You know, things got right, and first 2 weeks back training, I tore my thigh muscle. So, you know, it was a bad run of things, but things have gone well in the last 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll, you know, get a run today. The spirit is fantastic, I suppose. You know, team bonding and all that. I don't think, you know, you need any more motivation than going into a Munster final against the Kerry team. Certainly the training has gone fairly well in the last few weeks. You know, we didn't set the world on fire against Clare. We had a good old chat and got things going again.
I think when they leave the dressing room today and go out between the white lines, you know, the manager or any guys on the field, I think it can be over-exaggerated, and I think you send out in the best possible way, and I think hopefully they can do the business, and I don't think any manager or any coach can do anything else, you know.
Now in personnel, and a couple of significant positional switches as well from the team that just about saw off the challenge of Clare. Micheál O'Donovan is recalled to right corner back, while Kieran O'Sullivan moves back into Cork's best line alongside Owen Sexton and Martin Cronin. The midfield pairing, you'll have heard us say a little while ago, has been changed today because of an injury to Nicholas Murphy. Faulkner Collins goes into partner Micheál O'Sullivan. No place, however, among the forwards today for Aidan Dorgan. Let's have a look at them. Or for Mark O'Sullivan, for that matter. Teenager Conrad Murphy starts at left half forward, with Colin Corkery now on the edge of the square. He is also the team captain. A wonderful crowd here, about 43,000 people. Every space just about taken up. Well, the Munster champions, Kerry, are in the happy position of being able to name the same 15 that saw off the threat of Limerick in the Munster semi-final. Positional switches at the back show Mossy Lyons and Michael McCarthy changing corners. Seamus Moynihan is once again at full back. He's the captain, as you can see, also, with Eamon Fitzmaurice at number 6. It's the usual midfield pairing of O'Shea and Daly, wonderful players. Darrow Kinnaid is on the 40, and the full forward line hardly gets much better. It's Mike Frank Russell, Maurice Fitzgerald and Johnny Crowley. It should be a wonderful match. Kerry, the hottest of favourites, but we'll see very shortly. Both managers, I know, have very healthy respect for him, like the way he controlled the Meath versus Kildare match a couple of weeks back. And he's in charge here on what is a dull afternoon. Started the Mexican who hails from Douglas, south of Cork City. And there is the great man himself. There's Micheál O'Sullivan from Carbery Rangers in West Cork. A great sense of anticipation, lots of tension around as well, but it still is a fun occasion. High summer for so many people. For Pichet, he'll live in his nerves for the next 70 minutes. 12th Munster football final gets underway. Cork won the toss. They opt to play from left to right in the first half. Micheál O'Sullivan going down straight away. Clumsy clash there with Aidan McGarrett from Nghaeltacht. Some holding. Free into Cork, 20 metres out. Doing the holding was Mossy Lyons. Mossy playing just his 3rd championship match. And he gets a little tick for his troubles as well. Started in the league against Louth last year. He was on the panel last year as well, by the way, for championship. Didn't play then. So, it gives Cork this chance to go in front. Little or no breeze about. Colin Corkery from Nemo Rangers to kick this one. Scorer of a goal and 8 points last year on his comeback to the championship trail. That's a good start for the big man. Cork on front. Corkery getting their first score. But Tony Davis, it did result in a bit of poor defensive work there on the part of Mossy Lyons.
Yeah, I suppose it's all down to the ball that went into the corner, and when Finan or Philip Clifford get a ball like that, they'd be very hard to stop. Just one or other interesting that is after happening. Tomás O'Shea is after swapping over to Mark Brendan O'Sullivan. They're both very good footballers, similar in temperament. That'll be a good thing to watch there.
Declan O'Keefe, whose father Dermot's watching this in the Bonds here in Cork. And stalemate in midfield. Faulkner Collins taking the free for Cork, down towards Philip Clifford. Hasn't had the best of seasons so far. And Seamus Moynihan comes free. Rated the best footballer in the country last year. And then he's caught in possession. And it's going to be a free on the 45-metre line. Cork have made the better start, but that's just about it. There's a long, long way to go. And for not yielding fast enough, Kerry have been penalised. It used to be 10 metres, it's now 13 metres. And it's going to be Corkery once again. Great place kicker, had a spell in Australia. Tried his luck there in Australian rules football. And mention of Australia, I know Donald Lenihan and Ronan O'Gara watching this in Sydney this afternoon. Probably night time there, particular time. Second kick on the target. He measures it well. Cork get the opening 2 points by Colin Corkery, both of them coming from frees. No ball yet going into the Kerry. 3 metres. And it's going to be Corkery once again. Great place kicker, had a spell in Australia. Tried his luck there in Australian rules football. And mention of Australia, I know Donald Lenihan and Ronan O'Gara watching this in Sydney this afternoon. Probably night time there, particular time. From frees. No ball yet going into the Kerry inside forward line. Haven't really got beyond midfield. Declan O'Keefe, who's a Garda based here in Cork City. Great kick. Fisted back down again by Fachna Collins this time. Coming across it was Tom O'Sullivan, who, as you heard, has made the switch here. This is Darragh O'Shea. Cork looking eager, as you'd anticipate, rank outsiders. Kieran O'Sullivan belting it in towards Fionn Murray, the man with the goal touch. He's scored more goals than points in championship football so far. Decent pass ahead, to play it on the ground still. Opportunities, and Cork have gone into the very, very firmest position. And it is Joe Kavanagh who's got the goal. There are only 4 minutes gone. What a start for the challengers. Murray made it, Kavanagh finished it, and there was nothing O'Keefe could do. And Kerry have not started yet.
A super start for Cork, sure. Fionn Murray and Philip Clifford being left inside. Colin is bringing Seamus Moynihan out just a small bit, and a quick ball over the top. Good running by Joe to go in and pick it off, and he picked the spot nicely.
It's his 7th goal ever in championship football. What a start by the Rebels. Fachna Collins fisting it back down. Seamus Moynihan trying to bring a bit of order to that Kerry defence. Rocked early on. Daly. And that's a bad pass, intending to try and link up with Mike Frank Russell. Line ball to Cork. And Larry Tompkins here has had a very good record playing against Kerry. In all, he scored 33 points, played them in the championship on 10 occasions. Booted in here by Martin Cronin. Corkery towards Fionn Murray. Good movement, getting away from Mossy Lyons. Lyons trying to close him down. Murray going for a score. That's a little wayward, and it ends up down at the Blackrock end. Just the first wide of the match. I'm sure Paddy O'Shea was expecting Cork to come out of the blocks furiously fast and early. That's exactly what they've done.
Yes, and as we said beforehand, Cork are breaking every ball around midfield and preventing the Kerry guys from winning clean possession. And it just so happens they're bringing it 20 or 30 yards forward until the Cork half forwards are picking up the breaks.
Darragh O'Shea rising up this time, taking it down well. Getting away from the attempted shoulder of Joe Kavanagh. Played inside towards Johnny Crowley, very often the unsung hero in that inside forward line. They've got a free in. Ball handled on the ground. Should be Kerry's first point. Maurice Fitzgerald leaving it here, and it'll be Dara O'Kineda who will kick this. Their centre half forward. Well, he's an excellent record playing in the championship. So far, he scored 7 goals and 53 points, including those 2 penalty goals in the first half last year in Killarney. The referee's having a little word there with Micheál O'Donovan and also with Johnny Crowley. O'Donovan has been recalled, had an excellent campaign in the league up to about the summer of '99, then had a bad injury, came back into the championship after the Limerick match, was in round 1, came back much later, the All-Ireland final, as a half-forward. Here's O'Kineda. There's a big roar from the Kerry contingent. Huge support here as ever. And Dara O'Kineda kicks his first pointed free. Lots of colour about this afternoon. Micheál O'Sullivan, he's fouled by Dara O'Shea. That should be quite a contest. What a contrast also between the way they play the game. Kieran O'Sullivan Oh, Moynihan lets it drop down, but there's support from Mossy Lyons, settling into it a little bit more, getting rid of the nerves. Daly playing it away out here to the effective Eardon McGarrett. Scored 2 goals in 99 in the first half and was substituted in the second half. Crowley playing it back. Daly coming through, back to Crowley once more. They look for another score, and they get it. John Crowley from Glenflesk. Kerry's first point from play rather. The yellow was from a free. Good combined play, nice coordination. They knew exactly what they were doing. Great assurance about the final effort. Point for Kerry. Kevin O'Dwyer. Faulkner Collins was being held there by Donald Daly, and it's going to be a free.
For that last Kerry build-up, Maurice Fitzgerald drifted away out the field. He was playing in around midfield, and Michael Frank was left in front of the goal with Johnny Crowley. That's a very dangerous position to have those lads in there in space.
I don't think the referee actually saw that. He had his back to the action. There was a Kerry player too near the ball, a protest by Cork, and Cork get themselves a second free. This to be taken by Kieran O'Sullivan, or is he? No, he's going to leave it for Colin Corkery. About to thump this one in. Very assured, usually from the ground. Gives an awful lot of work for Clifford to do. It's won instead by Michael McCarthy. Very good corner back. Daly, who roams way back in contrast to the Cork midfielders, is linking up all over the place. McGarrett inside here to Tom O'Sullivan. Forward once again to Dolan Daly. He's been busy in the early minutes. Kennelly's just ahead of him. Here he is, trying to go by Sexton. McGarrett once again. Difficult ball over there, but they managed to get it back to initially O'Kineda, and in the end it's Mike Frank Russell, and the Lone Rangers man kicks a beautiful point, and Kerry have now got 3 points on the board. They've come back well, and they've scored the last 3 points. Here it is once again. Once the stumble was made there by Micheál O'Sullivan, it was O'Kineda feeding Russell, and that was enough. He'll be happier.
Yeah, super score by Michael Frank. They'll be looking for Michael Frank to be looping around on the outside all day and trying to pick off those points.
Once again, it's belted down into midfield. This time it's dropped by Darragh O'Shea, won back by Micheál O'Sullivan, but there was a foul, and it's going to be a free to Cork. Micheál O'Sullivan from Carbery Rangers. Played here in the Munster final 2 years ago, when Cork had something of a surprise victory over Kerry. Kieran O'Sullivan. Good ball. Down to Brendan Ger. Can't hold on to it, Brendan Ger O'Sullivan. Gets it second time of asking. Getting away from Tomas O'Shea. Oh, a very poor ball. That's Darragh O'Shea. Linking up here with Eamon Fitzmaurice, the centre half back. Knocked ahead for Johnny Crowley. Good running by Crowley, but he's come 50 metres out from goal and a little more. Eardon McGarrett. In for Mike Frank Russell, taking on Lynch. Back to McGarrett again, fancying his chances, dropping it short this time. Kevin O'Dwyer. Fouled by Maurice Fitzgerald. But that Kerry attack really came from a very bad pass by Brendan Ger O'Sullivan up at the other corner. It just goes to show you how a game can twist and turn in just the space of 30 seconds. O'Sullivan just about gets it back to Sexton. It finally reaches Brendan Ger once again. Michael McCarthy, good corner back play, beating Clifford to it. Clifford hasn't had the best of seasons. He was the captain in '99, but really in the last 12 months or so his form has deserted him somewhat. This man has been in very good form, Owen Sexton. And he took too long about that, and it's going to be a free in for Kerry. Referee explaining it to Sexton, who comes from Kilbrittain. out there on the Costa del West Cork. Much he could do about that. Crowley was on his back.
Exactly, that's a funny decision there by the referee. But Kerry forwards, when they moved, they're probably the most cohesive forward line in the country when they have the ball in their hands. There's very intelligent running off the ball, and they create fantastic space. And you always feel that there's a goal going to come when they have the ball in around the full forward line.
Here's the man from Unhueltocht, Darrow Kineda. Another expert kick. He's going to take almost all of those chances, I'm certain, this afternoon. So if fouls are committed, it's pointless within 35 metres of goal. Crowd settling down to a right good contest. A point between them. Cork with a blistering start, a goal and 2 points. Kerry with the next 4 scores, all points. Noel Kennelly is fouled by Brendan Ger O'Sullivan. That's Anthony Lynch getting it out, but only down as far as Johnny Crowley, and he's pulled down here. Micheál O'Donovan dragging him down, and this is a really good goal chance, but the referee says, hang on a while. Taken too fast. That was dangerous from a Cork point of view, and Micheál O'Donovan has had his number recorded. One more foul of that nature, he'll be getting a card. This should be the equaliser. Just over 13 minutes gone. O'Kineda, who works for Radio na Gaeltachta, is a very fine presenter. Hits it high, up over the crossbar, into the crowd. It's his 3rd point at early stages in the game. The teams are level for the first time. Looks like Colin Corkery and Darragh O'Kineda could be very busy men this afternoon. Their roles are so central to their team's performance. Cork's last score was in the 4th minute of this match. That's fisted back down there by Darragh O'Shea. Martin Cronin. There were talks about putting him into midfield. They've resisted that temptation. Kieran O'Sullivan has played in midfield. Here's Clifford, an out-and-out corner forward. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they switched him in front of goal at some stage. Maurice Fitzgerald has come way out of position, out around the centre of the field, just to get onto the ball and win some possession. Airdán McGarrett, he's held by Sexton, free in for Kerry. Referee wants the ball back, correct position is 65 metres out. O'Kineda has gone into the inside forward line. Maurice Fitzgerald has come out around the centre. Here he is taking this free. Targeting O'Kineda. Getting away from Graham Canty. Here's Micheál O'Donovan. Plenty of red shirts of Cork back there. Going long down towards Joe Kavanagh, the goal scorer. But that is Eamon Fitzmaurice. Got a lot of experience in recent years, Fitzmaurice. Way down by Conrad Murphy, and that's going to be another free. Free to Kerry. Well, that I think was the first touch that Conrad Murphy has had in the game so far. Colin Corkery gets a tick against his name for that foul on Seamus Moynihan. Going short to Daly. This is the way he likes to link up with the half-backs coming forward. Tomás O'Shea. Down towards O'Kineda, operating in the corner right now, dragging Canty across with him. Young player Graham Canty is in the under-21 team. That's a great catch. Beautifully struck high, and that is Noel Kennelly, and that's over. The Kerry flags flying defiantly behind the goal, heralding that score, his first of the match, and Kerry have gone in front. First time they've been in front in the game. This was a beautiful catch inside here in front of goal, got away from Kieran O'Sullivan, had the latitude, had the accuracy. Everything is going straight down the centre from the kickouts. They're not getting an awful lot of that, Cork. Airdán McGarrett feeding it back in, intended for Mike Frank, taken instead by Anthony Lynch from Ballyvourney. Here's Martin Cronin. Hit into space, Clifford getting away, high challenge. He's fouled, and it's going to be a free in, and the notebook is out. And it's going to be Eamon Fitzmaurice, who not alone will have the name taken, but I think it's going to be a yellow card. A head-high challenge, which the referee penalises thus. Here it was, nothing malicious. Referee was right on the spot.
Very interesting that Kerry have taken over totally at midfield for the last 10 minutes, and Cork haven't won hardly any of their kickouts or even the breaks, which they did for the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game.
This is where Cork can now score for the first time in 13 minutes. And this is the man who can do it for them. Colin Corkery, but he has put it over. It must have been just inside the left-hand post. 3 points by Colin Corkery from frees. That's 3 out of 4. He hit one off the ground, or one off one of his hands earlier on, and ballooned it away to the right, you may remember. And put it down on the ground some distance out, and Sean O'Halpin will tell you he's one of the best around. Huge kick out again by Declan O'Keefe. Daly was being pushed in the back by Faulkner Collins. A free kick to Kerry. Darragh O'Shea, beautifully into space. Great positioning taken up by Johnny Crowley. Got well away from O'Donovan. The angle kick is high, and it's between the posts and it's over the bar. Kerry go back in front, and Johnny Crowley has got 2 points. This is one of the most underestimated players in the country. Should have got an All-Star last year.
Oh, he's a fantastic footballer. He's got it all. He's got physical strength, speed, and he can score from 30 or 40 yards.
Corkery using his physique there to block it away from Moynihan. Drops down here towards Brendan Gerrard Sullivan, son of Kevin Gerrard, of course, from Adrigole, part of the 73 team. Free in. Foul by Tomas O'Shea. It's an exciting match.
If Kerry keep falling around there, Colin Corkery will keep kicking them over till the end of the game. So it's very foolish for them to be even attempting to tackle, just put the people under pressure from about 35, 40 yards, because Colin will kick them over all day.
He's had a good couple of weeks training, has lost another few pounds. He's had his difficulties with injuries and so on, and his training has been interrupted over the last couple of years. He's got this one wrong. He's put it to the left. It was a good chance, and he knows it. So Kerry still by just 1 point. Every vantage point, as you can gather, taken up here today. There was a suggestion that Kerry might not travel in huge numbers because they thought their team were going to win fairly handily. Then they saw the Cork team announced on Tuesday night and said, well, hang on a while, we could get a very good match here yet. Faulkner Collins fisting this one, but backwards. Maurice Fitzgerald picking up. Away by Daly. Inside towards Aidan McGarrett. He's got space outside. He's got Fitzgerald on his right if he wants to use him. Fisted inside brilliantly. Daly's made the run. He's a goal chance. Transferred inside. Great stop by Kevin O'Dwyer, and it's from Darragh O'Kinneida. It was a great sweeping movement by Kerry. Their forward line in full flight. Lots of variation. They could have kicked a point any time there. They went for the goal inside. It was a tight angle, and O'Dwyer did well. He's a very good goalkeeper. He's kept 6 clean sheets in his championship matches to date, and this is his 17th. Only conceded 14 goals in all those years. O'Kinneida trying to measure it. He's got it right. It's over the bar. Kerry lead by 2 points here at Cork Equive in the Bank of Ireland Munster football final. That's good scoring by Darragh O'Kinneida. 4 points in all so far for him out of 5 frees taken. Daly and Faulkner Collins contesting. Maurice Fitzgerald, legs taken from him by Micheál O'Sullivan. It's one of those days where you feel fewer number of mistakes made in front of the opposition's goal, better chance you have. It could be a very tight match. Aidan McGarrett trying to turn on the style here, switching across to the left, taking on Martin Cronin, going for the big one. Johnny Crowley's having a right good look at it. Lynch got his hand to it, managed to get it away. Out to Kieran O'Sullivan. Forward towards Conrad Murphy, the 19-year-old, just out of minor grade last year. Here he is getting it once again. Good change of direction by Micheál O'Sullivan. Now Kieran O'Sullivan, his namesake, another West Cork man from Beara. into Colin Corkery, out on the 45-metre line. Moynihan has followed him for company. Gaps inside, outside of the boot towards Joe Kavanagh. Eamon Fitzmaurice, his marker, number 6, trying to make a better angle. That's Joe getting into a good position. Philip Clifford trying to get the fist to it. Moynihan's racing after it. So too Philip Clifford. Nobody's exactly giving up the ghost. And Kerry win it back. Tom O'Sullivan back here to Dara O'Shea. Comes really deep on occasions. Graham Canty, good catch. He's a lovely player. Probably better as a centre half-back. That may come in time. Fionnán Murray with Mossy Lyons just holding up the point of the attack. One of the goal scorers in the second half in '99 here when Cork last beat Kerry, and he's blazed this one well away to the right. Referee having a word with the two of them. Mossy Lyons, the Kerry player involved. He's had to learn over the last year or so to keep his temper in check. It's been one of his difficulties. Brendan O'Gorman seems to be enjoying himself, having made the big long trip down from Armagh. Mist falling from the clouds once again here at Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Most of the players wearing gloves. There's a push there, and it's by the midfield player, Micheál O'Sullivan. Or is it Canty? In fact, it's Canty, I think, who followed out there to commit the foul on Maurice Fitzgerald. Noel Kennelly. No accuracy in that. His brother Tim recently made his first team debut, of course, in Australian rules football with the Sydney Swans. It's more than mist at this stage. It's quite a deal of rain here we have in Cork. Awkward for the players as Aidan McGarrett belts it in, and this time there's some Kerry pushing. It's by Johnny Crowley. Free out taken very rapidly. Micheál O'Sullivan dropping it ahead to Corkery, trying to wrong side Seamus Moynihan, but right into the corner. Moynihan will try and hold him out there. This is the strength of Corkery, however. He can kick right, he can kick left. He's kicked it with the left this time, and he's put one between the teams. He's got 4 points. We said earlier he got a goal in 8 in last year's match, and almost single-handedly won the game for Larry Tompkins' team. In the pouring rain here at Páirc Uí Chaoimh, he went off after this loose ball, kicked in Micheál O'Sullivan, brought Moynihan out with him, then turned inside onto the left, and there's the value of a fellow who can score with the right or with the left.
It's a terrific score by Colin. What people don't realise, over 10 or 15 yards, he's one of the fastest guys around, and he has two good legs left and right, and given a chance, he will take his score.
Cork lucky enough to get that one back because Kieran O'Sullivan just hit it with the boot. Sexton retrieved it, hit it down by O'Sullivan, and that time there's holding by Corkery on Seamus Moynihan. A little push. Didn't agree with the judgment of the referee, but with 10 minutes to go to half-time, it's a very tight situation at Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Brendan Ger O'Sullivan, whose pal Aidan O'Sullivan, is watching this in the rehab in Dublin, hoping he'll do well. Daly inside towards Eamon Fitzmaurice. Up towards Dara O'Shea, fisted away by Canty once again. He's settled down well, Graham Canty. Here's Brendan Ger O'Sullivan, taking that extra little bit with it. Tomás O'Shea's after him. Inside to Corkery, being given a bit of latitude by Moynihan, and when that is given, that's the end product, and the teams are level. Third time the sides have been level, and a real tour of the force here by Colin Corkery. 2 points from play, 3 from frees, and Seamus Moynihan is having to give second best here. I'm sure Paddy O'Shea will be worried. Colin Corkery is in form, and there's nothing to choose between Cork and Kerry.
Yes, he's playing in the space just outside the semicircle there, drawing Seamus Moynihan out, demanding the ball, and if he gets it in front of Seamus, he's very, very hard to stop. He's 6'3", good on both legs, and he can score from anywhere.
The quality of the ball coming into him has to be commented upon as well. It's good. Here's O'Kineda, forward to Mike Frank Russell, a real match winner. O'Donovan's after him, trying to give Kerry the lead again. Daly's in. and this time he's fouled. Referee says an unfair shoulder. He's having a word there with Joe Kavanagh. Joe's philosophical about the whole thing, but the number has been noted. And I didn't see a card, just the number ticked off. Next misdemeanor, and it would be yellow. Providing the offence isn't too serious, of course, it would be red. Darragh Kineda, 4 points so far, and he has just landed another. It's a great contest. Kerry lead by a point, 9-15. Daly breaking it down towards Eildon McGarrald. Maurice Fitzgerald's made some good runs in this first half. It hasn't always come his way. He is yet to score. Crowley, lovely turn, knows instinctively where the target is, and the man in the white coat signalling to his colleague, wave that white flag. Johnny Crowley gets the third. That's 3 shots on the target and 3 points by the number 15. A really good performance, but there are a number of very good performances from players on both teams. This was chipped in delightfully here. Crowley got away well from Anthony Lynch, and Lynch is a really good defender. Another push. Micheál O'Sullivan will have to be careful. Maurice Fitzgerald taking this from the hands towards Mike Frank Russell, won it brilliantly. Taking on Micheál O'Donovan. Checking back, waiting for McGarrald to come. That's down there where he got the 2 goals in '99. It runs loose. Anthony Lynch does a little solo. In the end, decides to belt it downfield beyond O'Sullivan. Brendan Ger. So many O'Sullivans playing on this Cork team. Sexton's made a good run from centre half back up to the 40. Transferring it back to Brendan Ger. Cork trailing. Sexton coming through. Colin Corkery saying, give it to me. He's in great form today and he's put it over the bar. There's one between them. Cork's hero is Colin Corkery, and Seamus Moynihan is having his work cut out this afternoon. He's having a real headache playing against Corkery.
Yes, there's some terrific football played by both sets of forwards. Now, Seamus Moynihan has a predicament, really. What he does is he stays in around the full back line and tries to predict the break from the high balls in. But what Cork are doing, Colin is demanding the ball by out 30 or 40 yards. And every time he gets it, he punishes him with a score. So Seamus will have to push up on him and try and contest the ball that comes into him.
Here it is once again here, as we watch this movement. Graham Canty trying to put in a challenge. In the end, it is going right dangerously across that goal area before Lynch cleared. And the linesman bringing something to the referee's attention. Quick check on the numbers already noted by the referee, and he's calling across Micheál O'Sullivan, who has had his number noted earlier on. So whatever happened there, he's going to get a card, it seems.
But sure, there's some terrific football by both teams. Some great long passes from 30 or 40 yards, people showing in front. And every time the forwards get the ball, the first thing they're thinking of is having a cut, having a score from 30 or 40 yards on both sides. Johnny Crowley for Kerry, Darragh Kineda, Michael Frank, Colin Corkery. There's some great scores in this game.
2 yellow cards so far in the match. Eamon Fitzmaurice for Kerry, Micheál O'Sullivan now for Cork. 5 minutes to go to half-time, picked off the ground. Free in. Well, even though the beaten team today will go through by virtue of the qualifying series, nobody wants to lose the Munster final. When you think that during the period from 1966 to 1990, every Munster final was contested by Cork and Kerry. But then that changed in the 90s, and 5 of the 6 Munster counties managed to get to this stage in the competition. The greatest of rivals, just as Meath and Dublin are the greatest of rivals. That's coming up at 4:20 this afternoon from Croke Park, live in this programme. Corkery striking it left this time. Can Murray keep it in? Just about, but it's Tom O'Sullivan who reacts well for Kerry. Forward once again to Daly. Once again it's Michael McCarthy. Interesting that the Cork half-backs today, and the wing-backs in particular, have stayed back, marking their immediate opponents, not leaving spaces in behind. Seamus Moynihan slipping in the ground here. All of that as a result of the rain earlier on. Tomás O'Shea. Conrad Murphy's after him. O'Shea fancying his chances. A little bit more shooting practice required before he moves up to the number 12 position. It would have been his first ever point in championship football, and today is his 13th championship match. He's worked hard to get this team right for the day, 5th championship season in charge. Neither manager making any change so far, and now we have been told there is 1 minute of additional time to be played, so we have another 3 minutes and a bit remaining in this first half. Bank of Ireland Munster football final. Sexton coming way downfield. Cork trailing by a point. Can Sexton go the whole way? McGarrett got back. He stumbles a little bit, Sexton. Transfers to Murray. Oh, goalkeeper got a good fist to it, but only out as far as Joe Kavanagh. Cork looking for the equaliser. It's tight at the umpire's looking at it, and it's over the bar. That's a goal and a point now for Joe Kavanagh. Happy Cork fans there at the Blackrock end. In points, it's 10 against 10, and the teams are level for the 4th time. It's a real ding-dong battle here. It came out here as far as Joe Kavanagh had still a lot of work to do, floating over the head of Eamon Fitzmaurice and over the crossbar as well. About 2.5 minutes still to play. Another mighty thump of that football by Declan O'Keefe. Aidan McGarrett almost gets caught under the legs there of the man coming through, who is the centre half back, Eamon Fitzmaurice. Going down to pick this one up is Micheál O'Donovan. Anthony Lynch saying, give it to me. Out to Brendan Ger O'Sullivan. All of them with strong West Cork connections. Back in once again towards Mike Frank Russell. Darragh Kinneada taking the shoulders, and the referee deciding in the end he was sandwiched. Free into Kerry. Will Kerry be taking a lead with them to the interval break? There's an injury to Martin Cronin. Here it is once again here. Ah, yes. There was a thump by Tomás O'Shea. Back on his feet is Martin Cronin. At the end of a half for each side, made 13 scoring chances. Kerry getting 10, Cork getting 8. But significantly the team's level up to this point here. Almost into injury time, and it floats over the bar from the boot of Darragh Kinneada, who has kicked 6 points from frees in this first half, and Kerry have the slenderest of advantages. The Munster and All-Ireland champions bidding to get out of Páirc Uí Chaoimh, led by P. Shea, against Larry Tompkins' team with their championship title intact. Faulkner Collins beaten in the air, broken down by Maurice Fitzgerald. He can play him anywhere. McGarrett hitting it ahead, but Graham Canty's anticipation is good. Kieran O'Sullivan waiting for a break to come. It comes from Lynch to Micheál O'Sullivan. Darragh O'Shea trying to hold up his progress. Lynch, Kieran O'Sullivan. Good covering by Kerry. Cork in the end opting to go long, under a bit of pressure. Conrad Murphy misjudging the bounce of the ball. Tom O'Sullivan's there as well for Kerry. And in the end, the referee decides he's dragged down. Cork don't agree. Almost 36 minutes played, so very close to the end of this first half. McGarrett fly kicking that one, picked up by Micheál O'Donovan. Out it comes here to Joe Kavanagh. Inside to Corkery. Cork's hero of the first half. Good ball inside towards Clifford, takes it in there against Michael McCarthy. Is this to be the equaliser on the call of half-time? It's a kick by Clifford, and it's gone over the bar. It's his first point. Good work by Philip Clifford. Scored just 1 point against Clare. Was omitted for the start of the match against Waterford, but he's back here and he took his chance here as half-time is sounded by the referee. Good work by Clifford, good work by both teams. They've given us a rip-roaring contest, which I hope you're enjoying, from the banks of the Lee here. Colin Corkery has scored 6 points. Cork's goal came by Joe Kavanagh after just 4 minutes of play. He tagged on a point as well. Darragh O'Kinneada getting 6 from frees, and at half-time it's Cork 1-8, Kerry 11 points. It really is exciting. Let's go down to Jim
Sean,
Carney.
Great to see you here. We'll talk about your health in just a moment, but that first half, tremendous action. How did you read it?
Jim, not bad, considering the team that was supposed to come in the match and was supposed to be down 10 points down at this stage. That's great. I suppose typical Cork, Kerry, Munster fine clashes, nothing soft given. I suppose we'd be worried now about the midfield. All right, Kerry picking up a lot of breaks or whatever, and they're moving it inside the line, but I mean, we got a great start to the first half there.
Nothing wrong with Cork spirit, no doubt about that, Sean.
I mean, Jim, this morning with the lads, there was no pressure. When I was lucky enough to be involved in the build-up, and the last thing that we said to us, put extra pressure on ourselves, because we're not expected to come out and win this match. But you know, we're hungry, like every challenge should be. We're in there. In a half-time of draw, anything's possible, Jim.
And your own health now and your recovery rate, how are you, Sean?
Not bad, Jim. You know, I just got my cast off during the week, and I had a good 8-9 weeks to get over the disappointment. I just won't be involved this year, but the next best thing, you know, when you're not playing, the next best thing is being involved with players, like sitting on the sideline.
Great to see you, Sean Og. Enjoy the second half.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. Kerry are the champions. They have 11 points. Cork have a goal and 8. It's 11 points apiece, and all of the second half, plus analysis at half-time, still to come. Brendan Gorman. And Maurice Fitzgerald is going to kick this with the left boot. This to put Kerry ahead once more. Just outside the 20-metre line, little or no wind around. What is blowing towards the left. As Maurice sees it, it's dragged a bit, and it's gone left and wide. That was a chance for his first point. Didn't take it. Big miss. Kevin O'Dwyer now. Micheál O'Sullivan, it's broken from it by Darragh O'Shea. Kieran O'Sullivan up as far as Brendan Ger O'Sullivan, hoping to get more into this match. Towards Conrad Murphy, that was a terrible pass. Murphy had little chance, O'Sullivan picking it up instead. The left half back for Kerry. Darragh O'Shea, good ball, nice quality. Into Johnny Crowley, taking on Lynch. Back once again it goes towards Eodhan McGarrett. Well saved by the goalkeeper. Out by Graham Canty to Brendan Ger O'Sullivan, a very willing worker. Kieran O'Sullivan. Kerry have had much the better of things in midfield. Cork yet to make any alterations in that particular sector. This time the foul is by Colin Corkery on Seamus McGarrett, and the referee's going to have a word with him. He may well have had a ticking already, so this is going to be another yellow card. And we're only, what, in the second, 2.5 minutes into the second half. So that's now 3 Cork players who have been booked. Referee wanting the free taken from inside Kerry's 45-metre line, in fact even further back. Moynihan as far as Eamon Fitzmaurice. Awkward bounce here, judged well by Anthony Lynch. Martin Cronin looking for Conrad Murphy. Tom O'Sullivan is a good marker, came out there early, didn't beat him however. Murphy in his first big major match. Kavanagh put in the challenge, it was Donald Daly who went out over the sideline. Kavanagh's incensed, feeling it was a fair challenge. The referee says no, it was a shoulder into the front. Watch it again here. Well, there wasn't very much contact made by Joe Kavanagh there.
I think Joe tried to avoid him, actually. It should have been a sideline ball for Cork.
Tom O'Sullivan picking out Darragh O'Kinneada. Knocked down by Maurice Fitzgerald, but only as far as Faulkner Collins. Philip Clifford trying to win the race here, but not getting there ahead of Michael McCarthy. Good turn, good movement. It's McGarrett once again. Mike Frank Russell popping up on the left this time. Daly's available, 45 metres out from the target. They bypass Johnny Crowley initially. Has it second time of asking from Kennelly. That's a fine kick, and this is a tremendous performance by John Crowley. The Glenflesk man has got 4 points from 4 shots at the target, and he has pushed Kerry back in front by 1 point. A stirring contest. Full credit to both teams. Faulkner Collins making some headway, but then kicking it into space. Can Murray take it? He can. Beating Mossy Lyons. Down goes Fionn Murray. Another chance to curl this one in. He deserved that one because he's played well, but that's only his first point, and every one of Cork's inside forward line has now scored. Between them, they've scored 8 points. The teams are level. This time level for the 6th time. Well, Murray slipped initially, got back on his feet, beat Mossy Lyons to it, and cracked it over the bar.
Again, that's terrific football by both teams, first by Johnny Crowley and then by Fionn Murray. And the forwards today, once they get any chance at all, they're kicking it over the bar.
We're going to have our first substitution very shortly. Aidan Dorgan is about to come in for Cork. He'll play in the Cork half-forward line, I'm certain. And it may well be that young Conrad Murphy will be leaving the field. Big occasion for Conrad Murphy, the 19-year-old. Larry Tompkins comes out to him to say, well done. Bit of a baptism of fire against the old enemy. And Dorgan comes in. So Larry Tompkins making the first of the switches and changes this afternoon. But I see that Owen Brosnan is being prepared by Kerry, so they could have a sub in presently. Clifford a little off balance. Looking at the referee, McCarthy stayed with him, whether there was a nudged contact or whatever. Clifford gets nothing. Ball has gone well and truly wide. And a kick out for Declan O'Keefe. So one more little look at this one here. Yes, there was a push. Maurice Fitzgerald is going off the Kerry team. Surprised?
Not really. He hasn't contributed much in the first half, Joe. And while all the rest of the forwards were winning independent ball and kicking points, Maurice just hasn't been in the game.
The man who was Footballer of the Year in 1997, virtually single-handed won the All-Ireland for Kerry. Off he goes. He was their super sub, of course, in '99. He's replaced by Owen Brosnan from Dr. Crokes in Killarney. Here's Sarah O'Shea and Cork of a player down on the ground. Larry Tompkins is protesting. Play continues. Kerry attack. Johnny Crowley trying to get into a scoring situation, getting away from Lynch. Outside it comes here. Daly's coming through. Oh, it's blazed over the bar. And Larry Tompkins is on the field here, and he really is annoyed with the referee. And the linesman has spotted it as well. But play was allowed to continue, and Donald Daly got in for a point. And Kerry lead by 1. But there's the injured player in the middle of the field. Dr. Con Murphy is out attending. Kevin O'Dwyer has come out as well from his goal. Just trying to see what we can see here in the replay of this. And there it's on the right-hand side of the picture. The Cork man went down and fouled by Dara O'Shea insofar as we could make out. The man in question is Micheál O'Sullivan. And that's why Cork are incensed. The referee is now speaking with the linesman. And Larry Tompkins has made it clear to the referee he spotted it. Paddy O'Shea there as well, just to hear what the verdict is going to be.
Sure, the referee would want to get a hold of this game now, because when Kerry got the point there, the umpire or the sideline man had his flag up, and there was a few instances in the first half where people feel aggrieved by some of the decisions he's made. He'd want to get in control of this game now.
Dara O'Shea being spoken to. He's protesting his innocence, and he gets away with a yellow, while he was knocking down Micheál O'Sullivan with a punch. Donald Daly got through, the other midfielder for Kerry, and he managed to put it over the bar. And people will feel that the rule book states that to strike or to attempt to strike an opponent is a red card. Didn't apply here. Sexton going in. Might have been a free that time to Kerry. Sliding in. Tough contest. This is Brosnan, new man in. And it really is heating up. Dorgan there. And Darragh O'Shea's on the ground, picking himself up gingerly. And as Tony Davis was saying, the referee really needs to get a very firm grip on this. His Munster final debut. Teams have invested so much in it. Ordering the two managers back. So much at stake. All those training sessions. He's furious. Micheál O'Sullivan jumping with Darragh O'Shea. They were holding on to one another like dancers at a disco. It's Cork's free. Kieran O'Sullivan dropping it in. Kerry leading by 1 point. Mossy Lyons out as far as Donald Daly. Fumbled by Tom O'Sullivan, running into 2 or 3 Kerry Cork players, and a boot going in. And it's going to be a free for Kerry. Darragh O'Shea wanting to take it. Remember, Kerry have taken off Maurice Fitzgerald. Rona McCarthy there, one of the Cork subs nearest to camera just moments ago. Here's Darragh Kineda. And Mike Frank Russell furious. The pass was a bad one. He'd gone left. Lynch soloing forward, but setting up the next counter-attack with that bad ball. Johnny Crowley, good shoulder, straight at Lynch. Oh, he's a powerfully built man, and O'Sullivan comes in with another shoulder cracking action. Noel Kennelly trying to make his way through, and this time he is held, and the referee says it's going to be a free, not on the 20-metre line, but straight to the 13-metre line. And again they protest. But it's all in vain, because the free is going to Kerry, and they should now be 2 points up following this. Kieran O'Sullivan, the latest one to be spoken to. And he is furious as well at the actions of the Armagh official. And Kieran, usually one of the most mild-mannered people, made his debut in Clare back in 1993. And he's got a yellow card. So now 1, 2, 3, 4 Cork players. So the ball advanced 13 metres, that's on the 13-metre line. O'Kineda striking, casual and easy as you like. He knocks it over the bar. It's his 7th of the day. All of them coming from frees. 7 from 7. Kerry with a 2-point advantage. And there's Maurice Fitzgerald having to sit out the remaining portion of this game. William Kirby there alongside him. Brendan Ger O'Sullivan. Kieran O'Sullivan towards Dorgan. Aidan Dorgan taking on Tom O'Sullivan. Good nippy half forward, and he's won a free in. And they decide to leave this one to the left boot of Philip Clifford. Well, Cork, I think, will feel there was a lucky break there, the time of the Darragh O'Shea foul, when Daly was able to get in, get the score, and they'll protest furiously about the last decision down there in front of goal.
Yes, but they'll have to maintain their discipline now, Ger. They really will have to think about playing football and getting the ball into the inside forwards.
Clifford with a lot of Kerry fans in the background, looking on anxiously. Still a lot of time to play. And he's put it away to the right, and he's put it wide. Bad miss by Philip Clifford. Set up for him there. 13 minutes into the second half.
That's another difference in the team so far today. Kerry have taken every chance they've got with frees on the right and left hand side, and Cork have missed 2 or 3 frees now that they could have got scores from.
Well, Cork now with 5 wides. Kerry still with just that one from the first half. Clifford has moved out onto the 40 on Eamon Fitzmaurice. It bounces into the arms of Dara O'Shea. Tom O'Sullivan, opportunities to make some headway. Down towards Mike Frank Russell, popping up on the right-hand side this time. Taking on O'Donovan. Still Mike Frank Russell, playing inside beautifully. Brosnan's shot comes thundering off the goalkeeper. It's gone over the bar. A brave piece of goalkeeping, but a point for Kerry nonetheless by the substitute, Owen Brosnan from Dr. Crooks. He might have had a goal there. He was in a very good position, and Kerry have a 3-point lead, 15 points to 1-9.
It's another good save by Kevin. That's 2 good saves he's made all day. But Mickey Donovan can't dive in now. He's after being booked, so he can't really commit himself. And a good save by Kevin.
Here they come again, Brosnan. He's got a lot of pace, strength as well. Johnny Crowley, lobbed to Mike Frank, taking up all kinds of wonderful angles. But from a shooting point of view, just unable to make it with this particular effort. And Cork are about to make a change, and coming in will be Derek Kavanagh, under 21 player, and he's going to come on in place of Micheál O'Sullivan. There was a definite need, I think, for Cork to freshen things up in midfield.
And Derek is a good footballer as well. He mightn't be as strong physically as Micheál, but overall he's a very, very good footballer.
Brother of Joe Kavanagh, part of the Nemo Rangers contingent. And here comes Derek Kavanagh straight away, broken down by Daly, but Kavanagh has grabbed it. Now he'll be hoping to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, his team trailing by 3 points, following a wonderful start where there were a goal and 2 points up after 4 minutes. Seamus Moynihan had a rough first 35 minutes. He got a knock on the nose that time, but plays on. Dara O'Shea. Fitzmaurice. Here comes Daly. Down towards Mike Frank Russell. Well, in possession is giving Micheál O'Sullivan all kinds of problems in front of a crowd of 41,158. Good crowd. What can Larry do? There's a ticking for Fionn Murray by the referee. Derek Kavanagh releasing Martin Cronin towards Philip Clifford, goes by a couple of Kerry players, but Michael McCarthy, a tidy cornerback, is safe and assured, and here comes Moynihan flowing as ever. Outside to Aidan McGarrett. Kavanagh putting in the challenge. Here's Dara O'Shea. Kerry looking very fresh, playing with the confidence of champions, having a nice lead, and Johnny Crowley up to there had been in great form.
I think he's entitled to one, because every time he's short for the ball, he's won it, and he's finished them off so far. And the way he's playing, he's very, very hard to mark, because he's physically so strong.
The full forward line for Kerry right now reads Mike Frank, Darrow Kinheda, and on the left, Johnny Crowley. Pressure back on the Cork half-backs once again. Philip Clifford. Back to Kieran O'Sullivan. Likes to attack, but sometimes leaves gaps when that happens. Colin Corkery shooting, and that looks a nice one, and it's over the bar. He's the one man who really is turning it on consistently. Give him decent ball, and you credit Philip Clifford for getting low the last time to make that possible, to get the ball in. Kieran O'Sullivan was there to help out. This is where Kieran came onto the pass from Clifford, in as far as Corkery, and again Moynihan was standing off him far too much.
And that was the 45-yard line, no hesitation, looked up, saw his target and slotted it straight over the bar. Terrific score.
They needed it because it was Cork's first score in 13 minutes. Great catch. Kieran O'Sullivan towards Colin Corkery. Tight situation as Moynihan got very close that time, and it breaks to Dara O'Shea. He's picked up so much ball. He's got everything in midfield. Here's Moynihan. Going by Faulkner Collins, who's labouring somewhat in midfield. Mike Frank getting away from Micheál O'Donovan once again. These are crucial areas of the pitch right now where Kerry are in the ascendancy. Kennelly winding himself up for the strike. Kevin O'Dwyer coming out. Broken ball. Crowley reacting. Feeding it to a better placed colleague who's Éadán McGarrett, and it's over the bar. Far Owen Ralph looked at Éadán McGarrett under some Kead Coolín Fachta against the Cléhisha. Cork about to make another change because Micheál O'Donovan here is in serious trouble. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one to make way. In fact, it's going to be Faulkner Collins who will leave the field, and John Miskela from Ballincollig comes in. Miskela had been playing right corner back, but he's probably a better half-back player. Martin Cronin is going to switch into midfield, and Miskela will go in on top of Éadán McGarrett. These are vital changes now, and Cork have now made a total of 3 changes. 2 more to go, plenty of time remaining, 15 minutes. 3 points the margin. Daly leaving it for Éadán McGarrett. Miskela trying to challenge. Daly floating it in towards Johnny Crowley, spills away. Miskela here, anxious to make an impact in this Bank of Ireland Munster football final. The winners going through to the quarter-final of the All-Ireland Series. The losers will play next weekend in the 4th round of the qualifiers. Cronin. This is to Derek Kavanagh. Kieran O'Sullivan. The hop is vital here, and Mossy Lyons has judged it to a T, getting out ahead of Fionn Murray. Waiting to see just who's available. Brosnan's available. Scrambled possession, but Kerry have it back. And that's out over the sideline. Kennelly was the player who was out over there, and that's the big prize on offer this afternoon, the Munster Cup.
It's an indication of how Cork felt they'd done at midfield today now, with the 2 lads in midfield off. Now, Martin Cronin, there's a lot of debate around Cork that he should be playing in midfield from the start. He plays there with Nemo, as we saw during the All-Ireland Club Championship, and he's a very good midfielder.
I guess there was a reluctance, though, to break up what was the best line that Cork had on the field.
Absolutely.
Here's Daly. Michael McCarthy. Fed ahead there well by Eamon Fitzmaurice, and here comes Seamus Moynihan, more expressive now as he gets out around midfield, but just losing his control. Kieran O'Sullivan got the boot to it. He got a boot to his leg from Moynihan, and down he goes. And the referee is going to speak to Seamus Moynihan for that. Just a little lapse in concentration as he was coming away. You can see that Kieran O'Sullivan came in, Moynihan continued through with the boot, and for his troubles, he's having his name taken, and it's a yellow card. 3 yellow cards now for Kerry, 4 for Cork. Martin Cronin, now the midfielder. And there was a push in the back. Joe Kavanagh fouled by Michael McCarthy. And this time they bring out Colin Corkery to hit this one. You may remember that Clifford took one from a little bit further to the right with his right boot, with his left boot rather, missed it. And Podsy O'Mahony is about to come in as Paddy O'Shea considers substitutions for Kerry as well. Cork's 4th substitution about to be made. About 12.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Colin Corkery to put just 2 between them. The cheering from the Kerry fans. And it has gone wide. He's missed it. If Johnny Crowley misses one at the other end, I guess Colin's entitled to miss one up at the city end of Páirc Uí Chaoimh.
It's a vital one, that at this stage. 3 points in it.
He scored 7 so far. A let off for Kerry, but they still have the lead. Darragh O'Shea has that one fisted away by Martin Cronin. Going back was Fitzmaurice. Coming out is Moynihan. Taking it away, Darragh O'Shea. Here's Seamus Moynihan once more. Gifted footballer towards Darrow Kineda. Can't hold it. It's taken by John Miskell instead. Players calling for the head. Releases it forward. Dorgan, Sexton's overlapping. Still players to support him. Kerry funneling men back, and in the end the referee decides it's a free into Cork. So will they bring out Colin Corkery once again? They are. Referee explaining his decision to Donald Daly. Well, had he got the last one and made this one, Colin Corkery would have put just 1 point between the teams. It's much the same angle. Still the deafening sound of the fans. The referee has gone in to talk to one of his umpires. He's fingering somebody. It's Mossy Lyons. Lyons has had his number taken earlier on. So this time it looks like being another one of those cards. We've had now a total of 8 yellow cards, thankfully no reds, and not a sign of a visa or an access card. Corkery kicking. This time it's absolutely perfect. He's got 8 points in this final. 8 out of 11 shots taken by Corkery, and they include frees and from play. 16-14. The latest change is going to involve Joe Kavanagh, a goal and a point he scored earlier on in this match. Podsy O'Mahony coming in. So that's 4 substitutions now made by Cork. That's broken down once again. Won back well by Eamon Fitzmaurice, who's had a very solid job at centre-half back today. Kineda. Just under 10 minutes to play of normal time, but there will be a couple of, possibly a minute at least, of additional time. And here come Kerry. Noel Kennelly from the pass from Johnny Crowley. There was a goal chance there, and it seems to have gone a-begging. Kieran O'Sullivan is holding up the progress of the Kerry forwards, and in the end he belts it away over the far sideline. But it's going to be a free, I think, for an elbow into the back.
Yeah, Cork were very lucky there again. Johnny Crowley won a very, very good ball and laid it off to but he just didn't have, the pass was just a little bit in front of him, couldn't grab it, and a good tackle again by the Cork backs.
Well, had that gone in there, that could have been the end of this match. Dennis O'Dwyer is coming on here as well, a link with the teams of 97 and 99, 97 in particular. And the player going off is Noel Kennelly. He could have been a hero just a second ago had he managed to get that ball from Johnny Crowley and toe poke it into the back of the net. Instead, off he goes, and O'Dwyer comes on. Some vital changes and switches now late in the game just to try and ensure victory, but there's only 2 points between the teams. Owen Sexton getting it back for Cork, trying to build another attack. Podsy O'Mahony came very tight to him, trying to take possession. He's still there to support, trying to get away from Dennis O'Dwyer, opting to go long. Good ball inside, transferred well to Aidan Dorgan. Tom O'Sullivan trying to get back goal side. Dorgan taking it on the break and kicking it well and kicking it over the bar. A point separate the teams. Dorgan gets his first of the day. A crucial one at a crucial time. This was a wonderful pass across. Podsy O'Mahony was involved. Nicely played back, invitingly into the path of Dorgan. There was a lot of work still to do, but he was capable of it. It's 16-15. That's the amount of time gone. About 7 minutes to play, possibly another minute or two onto that. Anybody's match. Great game. Great catch again by Darragh O'Shea. He's been the most influential figure in midfield, without a shadow of a doubt. Well, that was his brother Tomas trying to get it away. And Tomas only manages to keep it away from Martin Cronin initially, who gets support from Micheál O'Donovan, who then is dragged down by Mike Frank Russell. And Mike Frank Russell is called across as the free was taken quickly to an unmarked Cork player, but the referee would not allow the play to go on that fast. He wants to take the name of Mike Frank Russell, so another card.
This is one aspect of this new system that really annoys me. When you're fouled, you should get an advantage, and Cork had a loose man inside, and Kerry were punished similarly in the first half, even though there was an open goal and they missed it. But the advantage should go with the team that get fouled. They're punished by holding the ball up.
Donal Daly's been taken off the Kerry team. William Kirby from the 97 team is back. Like old times, Kirby and O'Shea at midfield. This time the ball is picked off the ground by Aidan Dorgan, and it's a free to Kerry. A very tight Munster football final. And Mike Hassett is being prepared as well, I can see. So Tomas O'Shea's going off, and Mike Hassett is coming back onto the Kerry team. Now playing for Ontoker in Wicklow. Kerry hold possession. Fitzmaurice back here, taking it in a 1-2 with Darragh O'Shea. Kerry come looking for another point. Just to ease their cause, and the referee says there was a push. The Cork fans don't agree, and that's a very disappointed young man down there, Micheál O'Donovan. He's given away the free, 20 metres out. It's an easy one for Darragh Kinnaird. He's got 7 points so far. He'll just float this one over, makes no mistake. 8 points for the day. Good return by Darragh, and 2 points between the teams again. Touchdown here towards Kieran O'Sullivan, another high challenge. Dennis O'Dwyer is the player the referee is going to have words with. Derek Kavanagh walking by. O'Sullivan's back on his feet, and Dennis O'Dwyer is now getting the card. Well, I think some of the Cork fans will probably feel leaving here that a lot of vital decisions didn't go their way, but then they are still trailing the champions by 2 points. And Kieran O'Sullivan has been told, back you go a little more, to the right position. Time ticks away. Just about 3 minutes of normal time to go. Derek Kavanagh. Kerry back slip. Brendan Gerald Sullivan, with a mighty effort, has put it over the bar. 1 point separating the teams again. Brendan Ger from Adrigole has made it 17 points to 113.
Yes, and Derek Kavanagh and Martin Cronin have brought a lot more to the Cork midfield. The way they were able to hold the ball up and pick their passes wasn't being done up to the time he came on.
Well, with the way the championship is structured, the losing team here is meant to play next weekend. What if there wasn't a loser? Because there would then be another round again after that, quarterfinals. There's a lot of football to be played yet in this year's championship. Dennis O'Dwyer. Indeed, it's William Kirby who took that one. 2 minutes of added time to be played, on top of the 2 minutes or thereabouts still to go here. So you can count it down. 4 minutes remaining. Kerry leading by 1. They've got this free, which Darragh Kinnaird is coming out to take. That's the 45-metre line, by the way. A still afternoon here by the Lee. Can he add to his 8 points? That's the angle and distance. It's going away left. Still kept in play. Mike Frank Russell. Oh, that could have flown into the top of the net, but it's gone over instead. And Mike Frank has got a second point for Kerry at a critical time in this match. He might easily have got a goal, you know. But I think Kevin O'Dwyer just got a little fingertip to that one and put it over. This is it again, dropping in. Now that the goalkeeper managed to get a touch to it as it came spilling out here to Mike Frank Russell. I thought it was headed for the top there. Yes, I think he just did. Cork are attacking. Podsy O'Mahony. An easy one for Declan O'Keefe to take. Released to Moynihan. Back to Darragh O'Shea. Linking the backs with the forwards by doing so much hard work. O'Sullivan playing it back to McCarthy. They hold on to it. It's William Kirby. Back from the United States and back in the Kerry colours. Kieran O'Sullivan. John Miskela, leg tripped. Kieran O'Sullivan into space. The bounce here just about judged by Mossy. Lions, but Finan Murray's coming through. The man who gets so many goals. Mike Hassett's back, and Mike Hassett has stolen it from him. A very, very valuable dispossession by Mike Hassett, because Cork were almost in on goal. And this time in on the ground is Darragh O'Shea. And the referee once again taking the notebook out. And that's Podsy O'Mahony. So it's another name going in there.
That was a vital interception there by Mike Hassett. He's seen it all before, and they talk about an impact substitution. Kerry have been in this position a few times last year with Armagh. They'll know what to do. They'll keep their head.
Martin Cronin about to take this one. Ooh, spills out of the arms of Philip Clifford. And here comes Michael McCarthy. They have time now. We're in injury time, a minute and a half to play. Only a goal will win this for Cork, but it's Kerry who have possession. They've a chance to tap on another point here. Dennis O'Dwyer coming into the frame. This is a chance. Crowley's just ahead of him, and there's a trip. It's by O'Donovan, I think. Just because it's at the very end of the match, I think he's very lucky, because having had a yellow already, he could have picked up a second yellow here. It was O'Dwyer who was flying by. Well, there was a little clumsy stumble on the part of O'Donovan, in fairness. It's left to Darragh O'Cinada to kick Kerry into a 3-point lead with his 9th point of the afternoon. All over Kerry they'll be celebrating, I'm sure, feeling that they have won. Half a minute of play remaining. Kerry leading by 3 points. Kerry with 26 scoring chances, Cork with 23. Kerry now about maybe to line up their 27th scoring chance. Cork taking it forward bravely, because they have played with great commitment, even though they were the rank outsiders against marvellous champions. Kerry had so much talent in key areas, a good bench as well. Overholding there means that Kerry, with the time just about up by our reckoning, have won this championship. It's all over. Kerry retain the Bank of Ireland Munster Championship. They win today by 3 points. It was a stirring contest. Some great performances by so many of the Kerry players. O'Cinada's free-taking, 9 in all. Johnny Crowley with 3 or 4 points from play. Mike Frank Russell with 2 points. Good midfield management there by Darragh O'Shea. Cork will go into the playoffs next weekend. They'll be in the draw tonight, live on the Sunday game. But it's Kerry who are through to the quarter-finals. They have won the title for the 67th time. Kerry are the champions. And this is the margin, 3 points, 19 points to 113. And let's go down to Paddy O'Shea, who must be absolutely thrilled and delighted. He's speaking now with Jim Carney.
Paddy O'Shea, many congratulations. They've been saying about hurling all year, not men but giants. A lot of giants out there today.
There was, yeah. It just shows, you know, that these punters that all week who were saying that this was going to be a foregone conclusion, I mean, they have to think again. I mean, I've been saying it for a long, long time, you know, that there's very, very, very little between Kerry and Cork on the big day, and they always rise to the occasion. And it is very much similar again today. You know, we were just lucky that we did get a few scores at the right time.
But Paddy, champions, when it was put up to them, they answered the questions. Can I just ask you about your late substitution of Mike Hassett? He won a vital ball there.
Michael Hassett and Owen Brosnan and all of the substitutes who came in played a very, very big part in our performance, and that's what we'll be doing hopefully for the remainder of the season, as long as we're in there.
Fantastic atmosphere here today, Paddy. What a game it was.
It was a great atmosphere, ideal conditions for football. Maybe a little bit skeety in the first 10 minutes, all right. But you know, we're delighted with the result, and as I say, we're also very happy that we're not availing of the back door, that we got right in the quarter-final.
And you might yet meet Cork later in the year, Paddy. It got hot early in the second half for a minute or two. Yourself and Larry there, were you just having a chat?
That's all. Larry and I have the highest respect for all of Cork people. It's always a big day out here, and there was no problem. And hopefully, you know, maybe Cork might go on and reach the closing stages of the championship as well.
Well done to you, Paddy, on your spirit and your achievement.
Thanks very much, Tim.
Yes, he's a very...
And then the huge turnabout in the second half.